Hello everyone. It has been 3 days since we've learned about the devastating earthquake that hit Turkey and Syria within the hours with 2 epicenters, and by now have been already considered to be the most catastrophic in this century in terms of the magnitude of the damage and life cost of how many people, which purportedly being now counted in many thousands, as many as 20,000, and the number is growing by day. We have also learned that it has been said that the rescue operations are very difficult for various reasons, particularly in the region of Western Syria. And many of you know, of course, this is a troubled part of the world which has suffered enough in the past many years. So this is to express our condolences and our heartfelt solidarity with people of both countries, with all those who have lost nearest and dearest. And with that, many have lost their homes and now are joined the refugee camps set in the area. We also want to express our deepest gratitude for all those who are on the ground now, doing whatever they can in terms of the effort to help those who may be still trapped under the rubbles and feed, shelter, and give console to the people who have survived this unimaginable tragedy. Whenever we are faced with an outbreak of such magnitude as both these earthquakes, which is very rare when 2 epicenters to being in such close proximity from one another, we are reminded of how fragile we are in the face of the inevitable. And of course, this is not to go into the why these particular earthquakes are being considered to be so deadly in terms of the impact on human life due to poor level of construction, building, whatever else went into the what could be later calculated and counted. But the loss of a human life is incalculable. And it is to this sentiment that I wish to say a few words. It is perhaps at times such as this one is when the greatest reminder is being given straight from the heart, if the heart is open to receive. Certainly those who have been affected directly or indirectly, but still affected by knowing those who have suffered terrible losses. How superficial are our differences? How superficial are our predicaments? How superficial is the very dividing line that separates us from what should in turn unite and bring us close together. So this is to perhaps invite that moment of a repose, even on the part of us, those who are not affected by this news, not affected, that is, directly, only affected in a way that we cannot help but empathize and feel that at the level of the heart. Because this may be beyond the reach of the rational mind, which can rationalize everything and dissect and scrutinize. But the heart doesn't know that. It only knows how to feel, how to empathize, and how to feel connected to all those who are now in pain. Those who are in pain, both in pain as that physical pain of being injured, and those who are in perhaps greater psychological pain of suffering losses of those who are dear to their hearts. And we know that there are thousands of families that are being affected, where more than one member of family were lost. In some cases, the entire families have been buried under the rubble of the collapsed buildings. So it is a sober reminder, but no matter how sober that reminder is, it nevertheless has that capacity to bring to the surface what is the most important, bring out from the depth of what connects us already beyond any conceivable measure, beyond any stretch of imagination, to that level where it can be experienced even if as a fleeting moment of laying aside all these differences, that we already, still at the beginning of the 21st century, have experienced enough to let us seriously, utterly and entirely reconsider the very premises upon which we build our hopes, our promises, our dreams, our ideas, our future. These are the times. And even for those of us who are not, as I said, directly affected, but only indirectly, it's also a moment to invite that moment of introspection, along with offering prayers, no matter how maybe irrational it may seem, but each and every single prayer offered now travels and reverberates and perhaps reaches to console, even if one heart at a time, those who have been affected, those who are now in temporary built shelters, in hospitals, those who are fleeing the area, and of course, above all else, those who have elderly and newborn, because that's the most difficult. This brings my own memories, both those that are vaguely, faintly left in the recesses, and those who have been conveyed to me when I was growing up, because the year when I was born in Tashkent, 1966, was hit by a powerful earthquake. And I remember when my mother was telling me how everyone was living in for 6 months after the earthquake. Every night they would go and sleep in temporary built shelters, tents, those made out of light construction, car garages, camps, so as to not to be exposed to the horrors of being woken in the middle of the night by the aftershocks that continued for months on end. And we know that there have been already thousands of aftershocks in both Turkey and Syria, some measuring a powerful enough earthquake to be considered a natural calamity in its own right. So this is the moment to allow and invite, even allow the heart to feel So no matter how helpless it may be in this given moment in time, so as to offer that, whatever we can, from the level of the heart, at least at that level where we can offer that, so as to assist with that healing touch, so much needed for many, many people affected. So thank you all. You may offer it with the silent prayer, you may offer it in your meditation, lighting a candle, simply sitting in quietude and reflecting a little bit on that temporal, fleeting moment that our lives on this planet Earth is, so as to not allow this very powerful expression of the magnanimity and yet merciless display of nature to be actualized at the level that is given to us, and that is in a conscious way. May there be peace, may there be compassion, and may there be understanding. Thank you all.